Hi, my name's Trev Hutchings, and the good people at CME in the Netherlands have sent me this Widi Jack. So, is the Widi Jack worth buying? So what is a Widi Jack? Well, the Widi Jack is a wireless Bluetooth MIDI device and comes in this bubble pack and can be supplied with an option of different cables. So one option is this, which is the standard 5-pin DIN MIDI cables, or it can be supplied with a 6-pin MIDI DIN breakout cable, the 6.35mm type B MIDI breakout cables, the 3.5mm type B MIDI breakout cables, or the 2.5mm type B MIDI breakout cables. Inside the plastic bubble pack we get a piece of card, and on the front of the card there is a web address to get the manual, if you want the manual for the Widi Jack, and the Widi Jack itself. Now the first thing you might notice is on the back of the Widi Jack there is a magnet, and that magnet has got a bit of sticky on the back there, so you can stick that to your MIDI device and then you can clip the Widi Jack to the magnet. On the front side of the Widi Jack there are two MIDI breakout ports, and that is where the cables connect to. So if I take these ones out, these are the standard 5-pin MIDI DIN cables, and they just literally just plug into those two ports, and those ports are marked up with triangular arrows, one pointing away from the words Widi Jack and one pointing towards the words Widi Jack, and the one that points towards the Widi Jack is the MIDI in, and the one that points away is the MIDI out. And on the back of the Widi Jack there is a very small switch, and you can, if you use your nail, you can turn that switch from one to the other, and that switch is for turning the Widi Jack from type A to type B, because the cables themselves are type B. And the idea is that this switch here, you can switch it from B to A, and the idea being that that will convert the cables from type B to type A. Also on the Widi Jack, on the side here, there is a USB port. Now this is a power only USB port, but that's handy because if normally the Widi Jack would be powered by the MIDI out socket of your MIDI device. But if your MIDI device does not provide power through the MIDI out socket, or your device has only got a MIDI in socket, you can use a power adapter with a C-type USB cable connected to it, and you can plug that into the socket on the Widi Jack, and you can use that to power the Widi Jack instead of using power from the MIDI out socket. So how do you use a Widi Jack? The first thing I'll say is you need to update the firmware, but updating the firmware is pretty easy to do. You just need to download the Widi app to your phone or tablet and then connect the Widi Jack to your phone through the app and then press on update firmware. whichever cables you've decided to get with the Widi Jack, you take the cables and you plug the breakout connectors into the Widi Jack, and then you can connect the breakout cables to your synth or other MIDI device, and the MIDI out socket on the Widi Jack will go into the MIDI in socket on your device, and the MIDI in socket will connect to your MIDI out socket on your synth or MIDI device. Once you've set up your Widi Jack, you can pair it with another wireless Bluetooth MIDI device. If you've got another Widi Jack, you can pair it with that, or you can use, in my case, a Widi Master. I've also been able to pair it with my PC, with my phone, and with my Roland Axe Edge. So what is it like to use? Well, I've been using the Widi Jack now for a couple of weeks. I've used it for up to 7 meters between devices and have had no dropouts, missed notes, or loss of connection. And I've had no noticeable latency. Also, when the Widi Jack has paired with the Widi Master or with my Roland Axe Edge, it is auto paired, so it literally means switch on and go. So, is the Widi Jack worth buying? Well, if you're looking for a wireless Bluetooth MIDI device that's easy to set up and use and comes with a host of options when it comes to breakout cables, or you need to connect to a MIDI controller or synth that's only got a MIDI in socket, then yes, I think the Widi Jack is definitely worth buying. If you've enjoyed this video, do give us the thumbs up and click on that subscribe button. Cheers.